Hi everyone, welcome back to MCM Outdoors, and thank you very much as always for clicking on this video. I am back out, as you can see, in the great outdoors, but this time, as opposed to bagging Wainwrights, it's a long awaited wild camp. I haven't been out for a camp for a long time, must be nearly a month, so I'm absolutely looking forward to this one. I'm just going to get where I can stand. So yeah, I turned 40 a couple of days ago, and I've got some new gear. On my back is a 50-litre pack, which is almost unheard of for me. It's made by EXPED. Got this with some of my birthday money, a Thunder 50, so it was quite fun trying to get everything packed into this. I brought the Lanshan 2 with the 4-season inner and a black ice 700 down sleeping bag. I've got the big camera as well, so we're going to get lots of good shots around camp. I've got a new meal, a couple of birthday beers and a nice mini bottle of red. I'm really pleased to be back out enjoying myself, and I'm pleased that I'm heading out on another wild camp. I hope you enjoy this one, and I'll speak to you a little bit further on. Well, finally I'm all set up and pitched in the Lanshan 2. No doubt, as you sort of gathered from that bit of footage when I was setting the tent up, it can be quite finicky to pitch, especially when it's windy, but like most things like that, practice makes perfect. I haven't used this tent very often, so I need to kind of become a bit more au fait with that, and of course the only way I'm going to do that is by using it more. I'm sure there's people out there watching this who achieved the perfect pitch on their Lanshan, but as yet I am not one of those, but I'm reasonably happy with it. It's quite taut, and as you can hear, it's a very, very windy day, and the wind is barreling over the tops of these trees, although I am sort of afforded some protection by virtue of the fact I'm camped in this bit of a depression in the area where I'm at. So yeah, it's nice to be in a tent again, really nice, and to hear the sound of the water and the wind and the trees, the environment which I love so much. It's absolutely brilliant. All I need to do now is get the rest of the items from the pack and, you know, get organised and get set up. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll bring you back a little bit later on. Well, it doesn't get any more cosy and hygge than this. This is what I've got. Just birthday gifts off family, really, off my auntie and uncle Sue and Pete. They got me this great book. Obviously they know that Pendle Hill and all the stories and history surrounding that area fascinates me, so I'm going to make a start on this. Very spooky to be reading that alone in this area. So we've just got a bit of chocolate, a mini Malbec, this from my friend Barry Payne, sweet potato and peanut biryani. It looks really nice actually, and I'm looking forward to trying that. Got my down jacket in there, little gift off my daughter Emily. Thermarest, I don't need that just yet. And there's a few beers outside just in the bag, a few craft beers again off family for my birthday, and we're all set up. Nice, cosy, time to read the book. Well, I've just been out to check the guys, because although the wind is forecast to drop down, there's been some increasing gusts over the last hour or so, so you know, it always pays, doesn't it, just to go out and make sure that your tent is secure and it's not going to fail. I'll do that a couple more times throughout this camp, and then I'll also look to be doing it just before I go to bed. But I think it's time now to think about making something for tea and having the first beer. So we are going to choose Perch Rock Pale, a nice session pale ale. There we go. And this off my cousin Sarah and Ian for my 40th. So a drinkable and perfectly sessionable, floral and citrus notes, a nice pale ale. I mean, I don't know if 4.8 is a session, to be honest. Wouldn't be a very long session. Oh, it smells lovely. Oh, that's very nice indeed. Very, very nice. You can't beat my descriptive terminology for my beer reviews. Very nice. Good adjectives. I can't get my words out today. Anyway, it is nice. Typical pale ale. Lovely, nice and light, citrusy, very refreshing. So it's about time we get some water boiled up. We try this sweet potato and peanut biryani. Never seen these meals before. Active Eat. I've never tried anything by them. Like I say, my mate sent me this. Very good of him. He also replaced the pole on the telemark and sent a few more bits and pieces. But very kind. Thanks, Barry. I'm going to be trying this now. I'm looking forward to it. So without further ado, let's get the stove out and let's get some water boiled up. So this is my standard. Well, I've pretty much used this now on most of my wild camps. I've got other stoves, but I always find myself going back to this setup. And the reason being, it's really simple. Everything nests into this Titan kettle. Fire steel, ferrocerium rod, bit of sponge, and stove wise, I find myself using this most of my camps. It's a remote gas stove. Remote as in, you know, and apologies if you've seen this before, but for anyone new, a remote stove, the gas is remote to the burner head. So in terms of stability, you're not cooking with a stove, you know, and your pan on there. You've got your gas separate, and this can just be planted on the deck with these really sturdy feet which fold out, and you know, it does make it so much more secure and stable. Alright, I'm trying to find somewhere flat here, and I'm mindful of the fly sheet of the fabric, which, you know, the tent, which you can't see just in shot there, but great bit of kit, and it's yeah, it just works, So we get some water boiled up. I'm gonna have this lovely meal. In fact, I better read the instructions first. Slow down. Good stir. 15 minutes, it's one of the longest rehydration times, but good things come to those who wait. That's what they say, isn't it? Right, so that's been 15 minutes. Still nice and warm in that pouch. It smells absolutely gorgeous. Very rich smelling. You can smell those nice spices. I can't show you in here, but it looks very nice. Just zip this up to keep the cold breeze out. I have noticed the difference with this 4-season inner, but here we go. Let's get into this. Oh, my mouth's actually watering. That is the just trying texture and consistency of it. Focus. There we go. It's got lovely crunchy bits of peanut in, and it smells immense. Lovely and rich, and nice subtle spices in it. So I'm going to enjoy that and the rest of this beer, and I will speak to you a bit later on.
Subscribe to Daddy's channel and give this a thumbs up.
You've just fell off the bed.
Yeah.
We've got some nice colours on the horizon as the sun's setting there. You can really hear the wind. Big feature on this camp so far. There's no sign of that abating. So the Lanshan, a nice shelter. You know, they've got a good following, and rightly so. It's nice and light. Again, just practice your pitching. Obviously mine requires further practice, but it's not too bad, and there's meant to be a bit of a sag between the walking poles there anyway, so I'd like to see it a bit tauter. I'd like to see the inner a little bit tauter too, but on the whole it's not too bad. I'd also like to be able to pitch it lower to the ground, so if anyone's got any tips for that, or you can point me in the right direction, please do let me know in the comments. I really would appreciate that. Well, we got that rest of that lovely book to finish, a few more beers, tiny little bottle of red, and the soundtrack of nature. It doesn't get any better. I mean, this is why, like I say, I've missed wild camping over the past, it's almost a month. Really missed it, and it's good to be back out again. So it is very cold. I'm going to get back in the tent. Well, it's getting a bit spooky out there. with that wind, the sound of it, and that book that I've been reading. It's probably not the best book to bring on a solo wild camp in a remote part of Lancashire, where of course the Pendle Witches were from. Yeah, I need to divert my mind. It's time to get zipped up. It's time to open another beer on this fantastic camp. Good thing about the Lanshan, plenty of room as you can see. I just need to get a little bit better at pitching it. It's nice and taut on that door there, so there's no messing around with that. So, right, I think it's time for beer number 2. Just get this zipped up behind me, stop that draft. There we go, that's a bit better. So, beer number 2, what are we going to have? Well, we've just had that lovely biryani, so I think we'll have a Jaipur. Anyone that's not had this, highly recommended. It's from a brewery called Thornbridge, and it's 5.9%. It's an American style IPA. Now, I don't know what the difference between American and non-American IPA, but it goes really well with spicy food. If you're a spicy food fan, get yourself some of that. You can see it in major supermarkets, and if you ever see it on draft, get yourself a pint, because it's a real treat. 5.9% as well, no messing around, straight in there and at you. Typical bitter, hoppy IPA aroma. And then nice and dry, cutting on the palate. And that's it, you're having a curry, it just cuts through, ready for your next mouthful of food. So yeah, really nice. In terms of the lancing, you got one hook on that side, same on the other. You could string a line between them if you wanted to, but I just put the lancing directly on the hooks there. But yeah, it's a little bit eerie and disconcerting, because you know, anyone in this location could just creep up on you, but you know, it's just your mind playing tricks on you, although it is possible, isn't it? So I'm going to enjoy the rest of this, read a bit more in my book, and I'll speak to you again later on. So there's probably not much more to film this evening, if I'm honest, unless something happens. I will probably just read a bit more in my book, sink that mini bottle of red. Thank you, Sarah and Ian. I'll sink that, and then I'm going to go lights out and get some kip to this lovely soundtrack of nature. But if something amazing happens, I'll turn the camera back on. But if not, I'll see you all in the morning for the trademark coffee sachet and a Cadbury's breakfast bar. See you in the morning, folks. Wasn't a bad night's sleep. I kept sliding down that way as we're on a very slight angle, and the sleeping bag is quite slippy on that Thermarest Neoair, but a nice sleep, nice and peaceful. It's lovely listening to this environment. It's like one of those relaxing tapes that you can download, but you know, it's free because you just listen to it in real life. So it's time to get a quick coffee on the go. Just got a simple brunch bar and one of these little 3-in-1 sachets. Let's get some water boiled up. Right folks, before I get packed away, I just wanted to just drop things to a bit of a serious level for a bit of an ask. Many of you who watch my channel will know I'm good friends with another bunch of lads from my local area, and we share many of the same things in common. One of my mates who's got a channel, fantastic outdoorsman, knows everything there is to know about bushcraft is Rick Turner, Rick T Outdoor Adventure. You'll have seen his channel. He's a really nice bloke, really kind, selfless, genuine man, and he's decided to put a bit of a 5-day adventure together to the Loch Shiel area in Scotland with a fundraising aim to raise money for Cancer Research UK. So Rick and another team of adventurers are heading up to the west coast of Scotland for 5 days of adventure, canoeing, bushcraft, camping, and it'll be an absolutely fantastic trip. The most important thing is with the aim of raising money for an absolutely brilliant charity. Sadly, cancer will touch many of our lives. Indeed, it's touched my own and my family very sadly, and I know Rick as well personally. So it's a great cause, very worthy cause, and I'm going to put a link below this video to Rick's Just Giving page. I know times are very tight for all of us at the moment, me included, but even if you've got £1 to spare, just chuck in a quid and that'll be absolutely great. I'd be really happy if you could do that. Head over, check out the adventure, and there's going to be some fantastic videos coming out from Rick and the other lads that are going up with him next month up to Scotland. So thank you very much if you're able to support that worthy cause. Just a quick sight check. I always, when I can, like to demonstrate. If you're going to go wild camping, leave no trace, absolutely nothing, just some flattened ground. So that's it for me on this one. I've really enjoyed myself. It's been great getting back out on a wild camp after a bit of a break. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a quick thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything, it helps me out, and it's absolutely free. If you're not a subscriber, consider doing that. And if you're on Instagram, come over and check out the feed from MCM Outdoors on there. Likewise, if you're a Facebook user, MCM Outdoors has its own Facebook group. Come and join that and speak with like-minded people who enjoy the great outdoors and get loads of tips and advice about gear and equipment, and of course share all your pictures doing things like this as well. Go and enjoy the great outdoors yourself. Always leave no trace, and I always say, let's get our little ones out there, up, off and away from the screens, coming and enjoying our brilliant outdoor places and learning to enjoy nature and adventure too. I'll see you on the next video, and take care.